What's up, guys? Uncle Luke is live. The very first thing I want to say is I want to wish every single one of you a happy Independence Day. If you didn't know what the 4th of July was, it is Independence Day. And I want every single one of you to be safe this weekend. My Instagram and stuff, the reels are overflowing with reels and short videos of dudes blowing their hands up. So if you're going to be lighting off fireworks and all that good stuff, please be careful this weekend and don't drink too much. Guys, we have a fun live tonight. I don't expect to have huge numbers tonight because I do understand it's the day before Independence Day and a lot of people are at the fireworks or they have family plans or what have you. It's also a big travel weekend for a lot of people. So let's go ahead and get started. If somebody can hit me with a Lima Charlie, that way I know you can hear me. I guess, thank you, sir. Thank you, Ian. I guess by now somebody would have said, hey, we can't hear you. But let's go ahead and get it started. And you guys know how we start this. And I actually have a couple contributions for this, but I want to know, what'd you book? Now, as I always say, this is a channel where this is the grown folks Points and Miles live stream. So you are allowed to brag and boast. Feel free. This is not a place where you need to be humble or you need to kind of tone yourself down. You can shine as big as you want. Ryan says, have a nice holiday weekend, everybody. Yes, absolutely. Memphis Mike is in the house. Guys, it's been a busy week. I bet it's been a busy week for everyone getting ready for this Independence Day weekend. I hope everybody's got at least hope everybody's going to be breaking flag code this weekend and wearing some stars and stripes shorts and shirts and all that good stuff. Oh, Seabass, here we go. What'd you book? Just booked a Conrad in DC. First class tickets on Delta using his e-cert. Love it. That's you can't get much better than that. Everybody I know loves DC. DC is such a cool town, whether it's history, memorials, or sports. It's a cool sports town. I don't like any of their sports teams. I do like the Washington football team, but great town. Happy times about the board's flight to San Diego. Nice, man. Well, safe travels. I hope everything goes well. I'm going to talk about a flight that didn't go all that well here in a few minutes. Ian says 1.6 million is big league stuff. Yeah, I'm going to talk a lot about that today. I'm not very sure how I feel about this redemption, but that's what you guys are for. I want to bounce this off you guys' heads because you have a different perspective, and let me know if you think I might have a case with. I did kind of a pivot in the mega redemption, so we'll see how it turns out. Ian has deployed almost 1.6 million over the last year or so, but here's the thing, man. I'm going for 10 people, so I'd love to just do myself or just my wife. No new bookings for him. 3/10 of a way to $1 million. There you go. Hilton honors are really hard, really easy to accumulate. Mr. James Ragland, First Capital brother. What's up, man? You're on vacation too. Happy vacation. Rodrigo booked economy to Buenos Aires. And I'm okay with econ. Here's the thing, man. If I was younger, back when I was younger and tougher, I would have flown economy no matter what. I could have slept on economy just as easily as business. I really do want to go to Buenos Aires someday, so I'm jealous of that. Great job. Ryan booked another trip to Grand Cayman. Hotel Indigo. Yeah, I'm familiar. It's almost brand new. Wonderful hotel, 20,000 less points per night. That makes sense. Yeah, and it's we're going to be checking it out in August. We're going to be right next to it at the Sapphire. But I think it's a great option. I think it's a very good option. Nice source. We're flying negative 1,000 on that route by the time you fly. Okay. Okay, so he's talking about Source King. Okay. Taking the same flight next month. Cannot wait to try out the first class. Which one are we talking about? Okay. Jace or JC, either one. Booked Iberia business from DFW Madrid. Nice work. I like that. Sans and Nobu with my new edit credit for 2 nights. Nice work, dude. Going to book another 2 nights once I get to sub 55K Alaska for AA business class. I like your style, man. I'm going to be doing a Madrid trip in January. So I'll be interested in how you like it. I've not been to Madrid, I don't think. Who day, baby? Mike Newland. Aloha, Danica. Hello, aloha. Danica, you might be upset with me. I'll get you a little sneak peek. We are going to go somewhere else besides Hawaii. And I'll explain all that in a little bit later. The Rewards Master, what's up, man? Been watching your videos. Memphis Mike, waiting on my new IHG card to come in. Nice work, man. Oh, you get the 5 nights, like Joey Beretta. Nice work, Memphis Mike. What's up, David Johnson? Got Mr. Luke, not fancy, but really fun. 3 nights at Hotel Brago in Monterey. Hey, man. Fancy's optional, guys. I know it sells and it gets the best, most attention, the best headlines, but fancy's overrated sometimes, and fancy is optional, especially for us guys. Kirby just got approved for the Blue Business Plus. Pay for a cow. I hope you got one of those targeted offers. There's a lot of those target offers for like 75,000 points going around. But either way, nice work. Delta Companion. I like that. Uh-oh. Falcon, what's up, man? You're not the Blue Falcon, are you? You don't want to be the Blue Falcon. CSR just renewed. Fun is going to go ahead and pay the $550 and take it for a ride. I think that's a good idea, man. You get all the extras. If you don't like it, you can kick that decision down the road a year. My trip is in December. Okay, source key. Okay, guys, what'd you book? So here, well, should I get right into it? I'm trying to think, because I booked something else, and I didn't mention it last time on the what'd you book. Uh-oh, Ian hit us with a 2 spot. Wow, somewhere other he sneaks in there. Okay, so what I book. Let me see here. I've got one of these cool banners, little banner thingies. So I did change, and I don't feel good about this yet, guys. So I want to run it by everybody. And this is why. Hawaii has the brand recognition. Hawaii is a big, huge deal to us Midwesterners. Hawaii signifies big leagues. Hawaii signifies you put out, you drop cash to do that. It's not something everybody here in the Midwest can do. And it kind of has this bigger than life aura to it. You took people to Hawaii. What a cool thing you did. But here's the deal, guys. And tell me if you can relate to this, or if you could have at one time related to this. 10 people to Hawaii. 4 of the let's not include Carlos, because he can do anything. He's different. 3 juveniles, three children who have never flown before. That's a lot of flying for those 3 kids. The other adults have not flown anything like that before. So just the sheer volume of travel is it's going to wear on them a little bit. That's not why I didn't do Hawaii. Here's the reason why I didn't do Hawaii. I was going to pay for all the hotels and all the flights, and the other young adults and young adult families were going to pay for all their food. And I was sitting around the house the other day, and I was thinking, I remember getting up early in Hawaii and going to breakfast. And I remember I got whatever the Hawaiian dish is, where it's got the rice, the eggs, and just everything all piled on for breakfast. And I remember it was like $32. And I thought, I don't know how I would eat with a family of 5 in Hawaii for 6 days. That would be prohibitively expensive for me now, let alone as a youngster. And when I mean young, I mean these are newer families with that have not, they're not in the point of their careers where they're making a lot of discretionary income. Matter of fact, some of them might not have any discretionary income. So I kind of thought that Hawaii would be a pretty big financial burden on all of those young people. And then I thought, they're also young, and they're not going to just want to eat. They're going to want to go party and booze it up a little bit, I think. That's going to be really expensive in Hawaii. So when I kind of put this all together, that the flight itself was going to be treacherous for the youngsters, for the kids, and the financial burden on the young adults, I thought, there's got to be a better way to do this. And I found a better way for me. But like I said, I'm losing that brand recognition, and I'm losing that kind of big name in Hawaii. So this is what I did. And actually, the hotel was more expensive this way. I reserved 4 rooms at the Hilton Mar Caribe in Cancun, Mexico. Now, Cancun definitely does not have the same brand recognition as Honolulu, Hawaii, or Oahu, or Maui, or Kauai, or anything like that. But this is what it does. It's an all-inclusive hotel. It's an all-inclusive resort. So there's going to be 2, 3, 4 giant pools with a kids section. All the kids are taken care of. We pause to recognize Mr. James Ragan, my Chillicothe brother, my first capital brother. He's got to work tomorrow. He just hit us with a 5 spot. He's a blue-collar service, food service. I love it, man. Serve the patients in the nursing homes, buffet style. Okay. About to get that double. Yes, sir. Get that holiday pay, baby. Take care of those veterans and those workers over there. But okay, so I can't. You're the colors on my screen in my old eyes. I can't read your name. Let me see. So Rodrigo, Cancun is just as expensive. It is. But here's the deal: those people who are not as blessed as I am in the wallets, they really don't have to go anywhere to eat and drink. They're going to be able to eat as much as they want in the all-inclusive, in the restaurants and the buffets, all that. And the kid, I call them kids, but the young adults, they can booze it up all day if they want. So I think that changes the game for them. Now they don't have to worry about how to get there. They don't have to worry about where they're staying. And now I think that basic need of food and booze, that's taken care of also. So I think they do need passports, and that's where my player 2 comes in. They're her kids. So she gets the. Now here's the deal with the passports. I told my stepkids about a year ago, get a passport and I'll take you somewhere. And the only one that listened was the middle girl. And so for that, she gets to go to Grand Cayman with us next month. So she's going to get to stamp that passport. She's going to get to stay at the Sapphire Resort. She gets to room with Carlos, and she gets to have a really good time because she did what I asked her to. The other ones, they're going to have to get passports, and my wife is going to have to help them do that. So yeah, there is a little bit of offset with the cost. The hotel was more expensive for me. It was $400,000. Actually, it was 500,000 Hilton Honors points for 5 days, plus, but you get that 5th night free. So 400,000 Hilton Honors points times 4. And I wanted to get that 4th room because my oldest stepdaughter has her boyfriend and 3 children. I didn't want them to all stay in one room. So I wanted to kind of splurge for that 4th room so they can have a connecting room. Maybe they can have some kind of privacy and put all 3 of the kids in one room. Well, that's their business, but I didn't want them to feel super cramped, and I wanted it to be really nice for them. But yes, they do need passports. Velmar says he thinks it's a smart decision. And here's the thing: if it really goes well, hey guys, your Uncle Luke's got another mission to complete next year. You know, I gotta one up it. What's up, Mr. Cesar? Thank you for joining us tonight. JJ says Cancun. That's rad, man. No worries at all. Great. And here's the other thing: they get to stamp a passport. None of these people I'm talking about have ever been out of the country. So even though us in this live stream, we're like, yeah, Mexico, it's right down the street. That's okay. For them, this is going to be an adventure. It's going to be really cool. And they get to go to Chichen Itza. They get to jump into cenotes. Mexico, in my opinion, offers a lot. So I the only thing I'm not super excited about it was it's a shot to my ego. I wanted to take everybody to Hawaii. I wanted to do the big deal redemption. And surface thoughts, this one is not as big of a deal, it seems. So no boozing and leaving the property. Well, we'll have to. We'll see, because I think Cancun does offer people in their early 20s a little bit of fun. But you're definitely right. You have to be safe. You can't be out all night. And there's two things you don't want to be buying out there in Cancun: drugs and women. And I think if you can avoid all that, I think you can go out there a little bit and have some fun. We'll see, though. I'm with you. I don't think they need to leave the resort because I brought 10 people. That's who you can party with the 10 people. But we'll see. And that's more their mom's department. By the way, my stepson's 6'6" and wrestled. So other than escalated violence, I don't worry too much about him. Obviously, there's another level to that. Yeah, David, I think you're right. And I think the fact that they're going to have, I just couldn't imagine some of those kids looking at the menu every meal and going, I'll just have a side. And this way they get to get everything. Not that the food's spectacular, but they don't know that. So on the surface, I think it's a great alternative. I just do feel a little bit. Maybe that's for me to get next time. Maybe next time we do something brilliant. Yeah, Rodrigo, the bars there are awesome, and I think they do need to sample the bars, if for just a short period of time. I mean, if you're 22, 23 years old, and those Cancun bars are right down the street, you kind of have to go visit, right? I think so. But listen, I come from a part of the country, Central Ohio. It is a very different culture than Mexico. And what I mean by that is, in Central Ohio, guys like to fist fight in bars. And I got to tell these kids that you can't do that in Cancun, Mexico. They're not. And if they do, you don't want to fist fight a Mexican. I know that for sure. Stan, the credit frog, what's up, man? Says it's a good move, and I appreciate that because I do hold Stan's opinion in very high regard. Hawaii was expensive for our trip recently. We mostly ate poke. Yeah, and you're right. It's the little things. Like, here's the other thing: how are we going to get around? We're going to rent a Sprinter van. We're going to pay $80 a night to park it. So it I don't want to say it fell through because of finances, but I think this is a more comfortable, more fun trip. And I think anybody who kind of had Hawaii on their mind won't care. They were really happy about the shorter travel day. What's up, Mr. Matt Clausen? We're talking about switching from the 10-person Honolulu trip to now it's a 10-person Hilton all-inclusive Cancun trip. And I'm trying to get some positive feedback because my feelings are hurt a little bit. What's up, John R? David asked, any ideas on how I can maximize the Delta Reserve card with thinking about Detroit for wife and me for anniversary. You want to take your wife to Detroit for their anniversary? Listen, David, how long have you been married? How long would you like to be married? Because I don't know if I would take my wife to Detroit or Minneapolis or Atlanta. Salt Lake City might be, depending on what time of year. Salt Lake City might be your jam. That might be really cool. Or New York City. Some of those Delta hubs. I don't know. If you like Detroit, as far as maximizing the Delta Reserve, we could talk about it all day because to maximize it, you have to do about 35 things a year, I think. And you got to fly Delta. Fun. I have all these Delta, and I offered one of my employees to fly anywhere in the world, round trip coach. One ticket only. Nobody took me. Wow. Guys, we are the minority that like to travel and do silly stuff. A lot of people do not like to do that. And a lot of people, they can't. We talked about cash-strapped youngsters. If you're in a season of life where that discretionary money is tight, you can't do some of these things. Philmo's world. There's something relaxing about all-inclusives for us dads. Preach. Knowing everyone can eat is a weight lifted. Man, because here's the thing. You tell everybody, hey, for your food and your booze and everything, you're on your own. Can't buy everybody dinner every night. I can't buy how much is a luau for 10 people? $2,500 maybe. I can't buy a luau. So you switch it to the all-inclusive, and they're got a chicken wing in one hand and a margarita in the other, and they're dancing. Problem solved, right? You're right, Filmo. You're right. Take the wife and Carlos over to Holbox on the seaplane. Okay, really cool place. Carlos really has to go to Chichen Itza. He's got to see the pyramids. And I want to take some of the other people who are maybe more adventurous to swim in those cenotes. Sergio says he has dual citizenship. Traveling to Mexico, I get destination fees, tourist taxes, and resort fees, and many. Okay, gets them waived. I'm thinking. Nice move, Sergio. Mexico offers a lot, I think, for vacation. Yeah, he said waived. I got you, man. Fun. Maybe you could have one night in Cancun that you all dress up in Hawaii. You got a good idea there, man. This, I'm going to pitch that. Let's have a Hawaiian night in Cancun, and we'll talk about how much less they have to worry about stuff on that night. Make sure you're wearing your seatbelt while driving. I will not be driving in Mexico. No, sir. Rodrigo got fined by the Mexican police. Yeah, and I bet you got fined in cash on the spot too, huh? Matt says you can't go wrong with that. You're right, and if it's on points, it's even better, I think, because I don't have to. Oh, and if anybody's wondering what kind of cents per point value I got from these Hilton points, I don't have my little notebook, but it was I think it was $13,075 and some change, or 1.6 million miles. It came out to 0.8 cents per point. Which, here's the thing. When everybody, parrots that 0.5 cents, 0.5 cents, it's never been true for me, ever. I think it's only true if you stay at a jacked up Hampton Inn. But if you can get that fifth night free and you can get a higher end play, even all inclusives are generally tougher to get that higher cents per point. 0.8 I can live with. And it does hurt a little bit when I think, well, you got 0.8 on 1.6 million, because I usually get over a cent per point, but here's why it doesn't hurt that bad. I'm not really in the best standing with Hilton, or Hilton's not in the best standing with me right now. So when my points balance goes from 1.6 million to 3,000, I don't care. I have about 2 million Hilton Honors points deployed right now in reservations. So I am happy to let that go and to see that balance stay really low. I have a bunch of Hyatt points. I have a bunch of Marriott points. I have a bunch of Choice points. I got something else. I don't know. I got plenty of points. IHG, tons of IHG points. Definitely love the trip to Hawaii. My grad school graduation present. Love the tour, all the place. Yeah, and Hawaii's still at that different level. So I don't mind having that level out there. I just do kind of feel bad that I said I was taking everybody to Hawaii, and I can. This is just a better option for them. But do they understand that? Probably. David just got divorced when he mentioned Detroit. Detroit, golly. Only person that would go to Detroit for their anniversary is RJ Financial, and that's because he lives like 10 minutes from Detroit. Cesar, I think for that type of trip, you made the right choice. I've done 2 family trips with 6. It's challenging. Absolutely, it's challenging. And here's the thing. The flights, for me, are a lot more options. So there are options to fly to Hawaii, but there aren't really any good points deals. So United, American, and Delta all fly from my airport to Cancun with a connection. Sometimes seasonally they'll have a direct flight, but Southwest does as well, I think. Can't imagine more than 8. Well, we'll see. Hopefully all 10 of them can go. Hopefully everybody is eligible for a passport. Some of you probably don't even think like that, but been to both. What makes you so sad, Luke? Cancun is epic. You're right. Ancient pyramids, cenotes, and yeah. Okay, so you're making me feel a lot better, Robert. And you are right. I do have a lot. Like Mexico on my list is always on my list. It's such a cool place. Hawaii is great, but definitely don't undersell it. It's okay. I appreciate that, man. I think you're right too. All inclusive is great for food and drink. If they venture off property, be good to have some basic. Yeah, I don't think they're going to have any basic Spanish phrases. But you're right. I'll tell them to start working on it. Mike, you want everybody to have fun and be comfortable. It's okay if money's a problem for the others. That's why you pivoted to King. Yeah, you're right. And I think if anything, like I said, they don't have to look at the menu and say, hey, maybe we go light or whatever, they could just dig in. That part of everything makes everybody much more relaxed and have a much better time. And it's not like the beaches in Cancun and the hotel zone are bad. They're really nice. Yeah, the cenotes. Okay, go to Tulum. Yeah, I went there. Man, it's probably been 15 years ago, but I think I want to do it again. I might have went to the Playa del Carmen way back when. All inclusive. I used points and cash. I got a great deal on 2 rooms. Resort was great. Just heard they sold to Hyatt. Huh? That's interesting. They do move around quite a bit. Mr. Jimenez goes there several times a year. Okay. Mostly stay in Puerto Morelos down the street from Cancun. Yeah, I can see that. It's just the thing is the Cancun has the deals. I think it's easier. It's a quicker ride to the airport. More commercial, more I guess what you call basic, but I think it fits. It checks all the boxes for us. Joker says smart move. Honolulu is more expensive than it looks on paper. It is. It's all kinds of little things. I would pick all reputable transportation. There are bait and switch. I think the resort has a shuttle that'll fit all 10 of us. And yeah, I don't. I understand how Mexico works. Even the Plaza Premium Lounge, the attendant outside the Plaza Premium Lounge wanted a bribe just to get in when it was half empty. I get how it works, and it is a little frustrating for us because we're much more structured, and we don't. That's a little bit different than what we're used to, but hopefully we can keep it to the resort and minimize any misunderstandings. Julius, if you don't mind sharing, what did you use before you got into credit cards? Debit card, cash, or checks? I think it's been so long. I started out using debit cards, and when I got into credit cards, I accumulated a lot of debt. So at one point, I had went with the Dave Ramsey philosophies, and I had been doing the envelope method with cash. I would pull out all my cash after I got paid, and I would put an envelope that said groceries, and an envelope that said dining, all that good stuff, and put cash in it. And at the end of the month, the leftover cash would go into a fun envelope. And I'm telling you right now, it worked wonders. Maybe just having the budget worked wonders, but the cash envelope method, it worked great. I only did it for a few months, but it was enough to square everything away. And I think even with credit cards, I started doing a similar thing to that. Oh, Cesar's got me in mind. Hit that like button, guys. I know this is not going to be a huge live because I know it's a busy weekend. It's probably a busy night for a lot of people with fireworks and all that good stuff. But if you could hit the live, maybe we'll get some extras in here. Fun says along with the shortest flight because I want this trip to be epic. All first class every flight. I like that, man. First class is just so much better, man. Oh yeah, repositioning. I always do. I love the positioning flights in first class. I think it takes the edge off. It takes the edge off the very beginning of a trip. And if your guys are like me, at the end of a lot of these trips, I'm spent. That first class seat at that little hour and a half long flight home is well worth it for sure. We both pick one a year. It's been on the bucket list. It's her turn. Ladies first. Always been together. There we go. Oh, she wants to go to Detroit. She wants. Detroit. I don't know. I can't say. I can't say you can do a lot of cool things in Detroit, but I don't know what you're into. There's always Windsor, I guess. In fact, I'll be down there on the 23rd. Nice, man. Depends on where you're going, but Cancun has a crazy amount of smelly seaweed. Yeah, I've seen the last time we were there, they had the hotel zone had a really good program of getting it up. But I think in a couple of years that's going to be overrun, and that's just. I also think that coastline is dying. So, if it's not pristine and perfect, then we have it. We have another goal. We have to redo it. Plus, someone who lives on the Gulf Coast, we do have hurricanes and storms. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I was even telling my wife, I said, if it rained every day, I wouldn't care. I'd be smoking a cigar under a cabana, drinking a fruity drink. I wouldn't care. Let me see. I don't even want. Yeah, Cancun definitely has storms. I don't think we're going during stormy weather. We're going in about 1 year, so we're going to go in the summertime. And I know it's going to be crowded. I know all that, but that part of this trip was out of my hands. This is when they can go. Use Happy Shuttle. Very reliable, cheap, huge fans at Cancun. Okay, Happy Shuttle. I have to remember that. Bit on topic. Hold both Aspire and the IHG. Both premiers. I plan on using CSR for paid stays. Have you considered how new 4X on CSR affects the hill? Yeah, I have. I'd like to get into that on a different live though, because, or I might even do a video on it because I want to ask, does the CSR with 4X and points boost change your status strategies? I think it might. If I can get status like benefits and 2X redemption rates, do I need hotel cards? I don't know. I definitely don't need to be as loyal. I know that. Are you staying at the newest Hilton? No, I'm not staying down there. That one's down south, and I want to say that one did not look as it didn't look like it would fit our needs. It looked like it had a really small, skinny beach, and it was. I didn't like the look of that one. I'm staying at the one. I want to say they bought this property from someone and just renovated it in the hotel zone, the southern tip of the hotel zone. I know I'm late, but booked Adam Sandler tickets. Nice, dude. In October, used my FNC at the Canopy Short. Yeah, nice move, dude. Night out of town without dialysis. There you go. Yeah, man, that's a Adam Sandler. I've never really paid attention to his stand up, but I know that's a hot ticket here in Columbus. That's a tough one to get. CSR and hotel cards don't get along. If someone wants to maximize that CSR, yeah, I see. I still, when I did my retirement setup, and it was Capital One and Chase, it was basically Capital One for hotels and Chase for flights. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a video on that and kind of put my numbers together on that. But I can see if you're getting the points boost, I think that's a game changer. And this is why I say that. Everybody on YouTube goes crazy over Hyatt value. And in reality, Hyatt value might not quite be 2 cents per point. A lot of people are giving you a reasonable redemption rate of 1.7, 1.8. So if Chase is going to give you 2 points, doesn't that give you that Hyatt value? That shouldn't we be going crazy over that? I know you can't plan for it because you don't know what's going to be boosted. But I think you're going to see a lot of people um, with a lot of opinions on the CSR in the next couple months as they use it. I looked at points boost. It looks great. I'm still on the fence, but I'm probably going to cancel next renewal. Understandable for sure. That's a weird card now. Luke, I used the Case Bossy with CSP. I got Biz for some same points as economy, better than Capital One Portal. Okay. What happened to the Saber X? I don't know, man. Let's hope it dies. Let's hope it was aborted. Because if Capital One can stay strong and not couponize its credit cards, that puts them in a really unique position with Citi and Wells, I guess, as like our alternative that we all want. And it also becomes such a great secondary setup. Yeah, Cesar's right. Hyatt continues to go down every year, and it's never mentioned. When a lot of people I don't think understand that. Is it March or April that they raise the category levels of 150, 200 hotels? Every time they do that, Hyatt as a whole gets more expensive. And I don't think people really put much thought into that because they're. And I also think when people speak about how great the globalist status is, That's great, man. I'll never get it. I'll never stay that many nights or game a system that hard to be globalist ever. It'll never happen for me. So those of you that are globalists and do kick butt with Hyatt, I'm proud of you. That's great. I don't think that'll ever be me. To me, Hyatt is awesome for those 8,000 point, one night, hotels, the Hyatt places, the Hyatt houses. Give me that free breakfast and the really cheap points rate and get me on the road the next day. Yeah, SoCal, they got the price match with Capital One Portal. Yeah, and that's underrated, I think. Very underrated. Last search in Denver was difficult to even see 1 cent per point. Yeah. And by the way, if you're transferring City or Wells to Choice, you might be seeing 4 cents per point on things like Cambria, Ascend, maybe a little less so with Radisson. But if you're transferring those 1 to 2 City and Wells to Choice hotels, which people put them down so much, a lot of people don't even consider Choice hotels. But if you're going to a city, for instance, we're going to Minneapolis for the Bengals and Vikings game, there's a Radisson within a block or two of the stadium that is very good, very nice, very mid-level, and it's a great points redemption. It's only 20,000 points per night or something on a day where there's a game there. So those cash prices are really elevated. Whoops. Only edit eligible hotels give you elite night. You're not guaranteed the hotel would honor your status. Yeah, and that's I'm not sure using 2 times points is all it seems. Here's the thing. You're still looking at this as a person who wants to maintain that status. How freeing would it be to be a free agent anywhere? Maybe you still have the Bonvoy Brilliant or you still have the Hilton Aspire, but you're not handcuffed to those staying at those hotels or maintaining that status or trying to maintain those benefits. You can go anywhere. I think for a lot of us who don't want a $550 or $650 card, you just want one large annual fee card and a bunch of support cards. I think that's an option with the CSR. I say I think because I haven't, put it into action just yet. There you go. Chris Scully, save 4 bones. Nice work. For Amsterdam, you went with the I know the Kimpton. Oh, and it's a great area. You're gonna like that hotel for sure. And Hyatt, when you're talking about the IHG and Hyatt, everybody wants to stay at the Hyatt Andaz in Amsterdam, and that's great. But where that Kimpton is, you can walk from the train. So you can fly into Amsterdam, take the train to downtown Amsterdam, and walk a block or two to the Kimpton. I think you'd have to it'd be a little more difficult to walk to the Andaz. And I don't think the Andaz is in any better area. And I have Hyatt points. I get it. Cesar is Choice. Choice is coming out with some bangers, dude. Choice Tokyo. Tokyo has a lot of Choice hotels. And those are not exactly what I'm talking about. Those are like Comfort Inns and those are real Choice hotels, like the economy budget stuff. But Choice also has these Cambrias and these Ascends that are a level up, a little. I mean, they're not super nice, but they are nicer than your regular Comfort Inns and stuff like that. Thinking about canceling the Reserve and getting the Venture X and adding an authorized user. It'd be cheaper than the old. Yeah, I think it's a great idea. But see, when you guys have to realize whenever you ask me about this card or that card, my answer is always going to be both. I think the CSR and the Venture X complement each other. They do overlap. But in my sort of end game retirement setup, it includes both of those. And I think the Capital One setup fills the gaps of the Chase setup. It Saver X, the Saver 3x on groceries, 3x on the entertainment. I think it kind of fits together really good. So if you only have one, I could definitely understand having the Venture X instead of the CSR. Does anybody here want to do questions for Carlos? Not yet, Charlie. I'll come back in 15 minutes, and if they got questions, we'll do it.
Okay.
All right. So you guys heard it. Carlos wants to come back in 15 minutes. If we have a couple questions for him, he loves to be on the YouTubes, and he can't wait to go to Puerto Rico. If you guys didn't know, the third annual creator meetup, hosted by none other than Cesar Joel, is going to be in San Juan, Puerto Rico, Veterans Day weekend, November. Is that November? It's like the first Monday in November. Just check your calendars. There's still hotel space available. It looks like a lot of people are going. It looks like it's going to be a super fun time. It's not just for creators. It's for anybody who wants to nerd out and flex their points and miles game. So creator meetup, Veterans Day weekend, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Get with Cesar Joel for details. It's going to be a good time. Carlos will be there. He can't wait to meet everybody. Filmo's right. Chase is huge in Scandinavia. You're absolutely right. It's coming out of the shadows, I think. I think people are finally talking about it. I don't know if very many people are staying there. I just stayed at a Choice last weekend in Houston. It was everything I wanted. It's actually really nice. Don't forget the AU lounge benefits go away in February. Yeah, I mean and here's the thing. $125 for an authorized user card. I think that's what it is. That's still cheaper than the rest, and to me, that's still worth it. And then we can get into who needs a travel card and all that other stuff. But here's my thing. I would pay the annual fee on a premium travel card just for the lounge access. Now, we can talk about how overrated that is and all you want, and you're right, and it is, and all that. But that's the value of lounge access to me. So everything else makes the card, more palatable as far as price. But if you don't want lounge access, what do you want? The coupons? What do you want out of this? So if you don't want the lounge access and you're not willing to pay big bucks for the lounge access, do yourself a favor, man. Get a Journey card or a CSP or a City Premier. Don't worry about those expensive cards. You're not missing out on anything. SoCal booked the Hyatt House Capital One portal using a travel credit. Earned Hyatt points with my room charges. And wow. Huh. Added a Hyatt number to reserve. That's interesting. So you were able to get all your Hyatt benefits and credit through the Capital One portal. That's very interesting if that becomes a trend. For sure. If that becomes a trend, I could see portal puppies popping out everywhere. Definitely. Fun says I'm on my 12th personal card and one business card in 14 months. I like it. I'm still a newcomer to the game, but I'm kicking ass. The question I have is should I cancel cards before the renewal date? No. Don't cancel any of them before they renew. Cancel them if you're going to. First off, have a strategy before this happens. But let's say your card annual fee hits on August 1st. Don't cancel it before then, unless it's Capital One, I think. Some Capital One different. Everybody else, let the annual fee hit and then make a decision to either downgrade it to something free or cancel it or call them and ask them if they have a retention offer. As far as I know, right now, only Citi and Amex are doing retention offers. But don't be afraid to call and say, hey, I'm having trouble making sense of this card. Is there any incentives, any offers that you can give me to help make me make this decision? Might be surprised what you get. But don't cancel it before. Okay, we're going to go back to that fun for sure. Happy 4th, Uncle Luke, reporting live from the Cancun Sapphire. Yes! Arrived today and had the tacos on the beach. Listen, does it get any better for you right now? I mean, you are killing it, man. Early July. Are you going to be there for the end? I wonder if they have fireworks for our Independence Day. Probably not. But I'm definitely jealous. Good work. Good work with that redemption, because as long as that lasts, guys, there is no better hotel redemption that I know of. You're getting between 4 and 8 or 9 cents per point at this Kimpton Sapphire in Grand Cayman. You do have to pay some resort fees, and it is an expensive place outside of the cost of the hotel. But for $1,000 a night, you can get it for 70,000 IHG points. 4th night free if you have a card. That's big league. Whoops. Oh, okay. How much time to come up? Carlos. Sorry for yelling at the microphone. Don't cancel if you don't have to. Product change and no annual fee cards. Yeah, and I think that's good for a lot of people. I think at some point you get to where canceling is not as bad. If you have a super old, thick credit profile, then canceling cards might be better. Canceling very young cards. CSP has been getting hit hard with online subscriptions, online groceries, with Whole Foods, Kroger, DoorDash. I mean, if you can do the online groceries in a way that it doesn't cost anymore, like with the Kroger trick, man, that raises the value of that CSP a lot, in my opinion. 3x dining, 3x groceries. If you can use that consistently, I think it's, plus you get the transfer partners. I think it's a really good card. If you can't consistently do the groceries, changes the game a bit, I think. Yeah. He does like to watch the fireworks. I don't. I don't know where he went. Let me find him. Sorry for the dead sound. Here he comes. All-time favorite movie. He's not. Yeah, he's a movie guy. He'll have some. All right, we got plenty. Carlos. Sorry, Carlos. Oops. Would you ever do a Motel 6, Unc? Man, I don't know. No, not likely, because, and here's the thing. I don't really necessarily care that it's a Motel 6, but let's all keep it real. Motel 6s are much more likely to have drug addicts and prostitutes hanging around. They're not a bunch of Motel 6s in really good neighborhoods that anybody wants to stay. Who wants to? Let me ask you this. Would you park your car at a Motel 6? It's not so much the actual hotel, but just the areas they're normally in, because there's a few lower end hotels that I don't have any problems. The La Quinta, I'll stay at one of those. Comfort Inn, yeah, no problem. Best Western, guys, you can hate on Best Western all you want, but there are awesome Best Westerns out there. There's a Best Western in Dubai. There's a lot of good Best Westerns. Questions for Carlos. Show him your T-shirt, Carlos. Show him your T-shirt. Uh-oh. What's it say? Capri Italia. All right. I didn't get me. Make sure I get. Oh. All right. Hold on. They got some questions for you, buddy. Here we go. Mr. Fun says, Carlos, what's the first souvenir you want from Cancun?
Magnet.
We always get magnets. We don't do a lot of souvenirs.
Magnet.
He's got a T-shirt on from Italy, but I don't buy a lot of things, but we always get a magnet. Mr. Cesar Joel, who is hosting the creator meetup in Puerto Rico. What's your favorite sneaker brand? Jordan.
The Jordan, Nike, or Adidas.
Tell them, not me.
Either Jordan, Nike, or Adidas. Here. Either Jordan, Nike, or Adidas.
Standard. He likes all three of them. He always wants the Jordans, and he likes the Nikes, but the shoe he puts on most is the plain low top Adidas, no matter what, because they're comfy. Hold on, you got more here. Okay. You like to watch the fireworks?
Yeah.
Loves it.
I got North Pole, South Pole.
That's a tough one. Santa Claus is the North Pole.
North.
Yeah.
I tell Santa Claus, but on Christmas I say, I want to get VR.
A what?
Never mind.
Favorite all-time movie?
I don't know.
Sandlot?
Yeah, probably.
Or Star Wars?
Or
Casino Royale?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith. Okay. I think it's Sandlot and Revenge of the Sith / Casino Royale.
Pretty much.
All right. I think that might be it, buddy. That was a lot. You had a lot of questions this time. I think I missed. Oh, here we go.
You missed one?
What's your next haircut style? Like mine?
No. You're chopped.
What are you gonna do next? Mohawk?
No.
No. Long all around?
I don't know.
He doesn't care about hair.
All I know is I'm sticking with the.
Uh-oh. SoCal Skater wants to know what kind of activities you're looking forward to doing in Mexico.
Seeing Chichen Itza.
Hey, Chichen Itza. Say it real loud. Chichen Itza.
Seeing Chichen Itza.
Oh, not that loud.
You said say it real loud.
No, don't yell it. Last one, guys. Last one. Carlos, do you have a secret handshake that you and your friends have?
Yes. Yes. It's called Samuka.
It's called Samuka.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do this. We go boom, 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 and then that's what we do.
I did not know that. All right, Mr. Carlos. Thank you for questions with Carlos. Have a good night.
Someone said smile. Someone said smile emoji.
Yeah. You're entertaining. Go ahead. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Goodbye. Carlos says he will see you guys in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. And I can't wait too. Luke, am I missing something? Why? But why do people book Hiltons and Marriotts over Hyatts? I can tell you right now, because there's only 13 Hyatts. I kid, but most of the time for me, it's about location. And I think you are exponentially more likely to be in the exact location you want with a Hyatt or Marriott because there are so many more of them. With Hyatt, the nightly points costs are much higher. Then Hyatts are cheaper points wise. Here's the other thing. Not everybody has a bunch of Chase points. There's a lot of people out there that blow past their 524 and they just don't get any Hyatt points or Chase points. I think Hyatt is criminally overrated. And I've said it for years and I get a lot of pushback, but I also stay at Hyatts. So I do recognize they bring a lot of value, but there's not enough Hyatts for them to ever be my primary hotel. There's a lot of places in Europe where you will not get a reservation for 3 people. You will not get a reservation for 3 people. There's a lot of places in Europe where you won't be. There's a lot of places in Europe where you won't see points as even an option to get the room. Now, on the flip side of that, Hyatt is the hotel program where I can buy a suite with points, and it's not 800,000 points. It's a normal amount of points. So, and here's the other reason, and I'll get off because I could talk about this forever. Hyatt points are slower to earn than Hilton points. Hilton points are so easy to earn. There's 4 credit cards. They also have no lifetime language all the time. They have upgrade and downgrade bonuses. They have retention bonuses. They have referral bonuses. They earn 34 points per dollar spent on cash stays. I just spent 1.6 million Hilton Honors points. I don't miss them. I could have 1 million more before the end of the year. So I can't do that with Hyatt. I can't even come close to doing that with Hyatt. And even if I did, there's not enough hotels for me to spend it on. So hopefully I wasn't too hard on Hyatt because they do have a great program. Now it's not a secret anymore. Oh, they have a wall of skulls at the pyramid in Mexico. Carlos would love that. We're going to get to that. Why would you let an annual fee hit before doing it? Chris, if you cancel your card before the end of the year, that credit card issuer may have the right to claw back all your bonuses that you got with them. When you sign up for that credit card and you pay the annual fee and you accept the welcome offer if it has one, it's kind of an agreement to keep that card for the year. If you 6 months later you cancel it, you may be in a position where they claw back that bonus. If you wait until the annual fee hits, might not be the same thing with Capital One, but everyone else, they refund that annual fee and close your account. So you're not going to have to pay it. You just let it hit your account, and then you call and cancel. QC man hits with the 2 spot. Thank you, sir. The super stickers in the house. Much, much appreciated. Pod Hyatt's fantastic if it works for you. It has gaps. Yeah, the gaps are pretty large, pretty huge. But I do. Last year I stayed at more Hyatts than any other program. So I'm not saying the program is anything less than stellar. It's just when you compare different programs, some of them work better for other people. Hyatt, as much as I am not happy with them right now, they're the best program for me. And then the other thing, Hyatt the only main of the big four that doesn't give you a free night after 4 or 5 nights. That's kind of it's perceived value that you don't get with Hyatt. I don't think you need it because, like you said, the points redemption is so much lower. IHG, 4th night free. And if you're like me, I only stay 4 nights. That's a long one for me. That's a long stay that's a Europe trip for me, 4 nights. And I know not everybody's like that, and I get it. But in March when we went to Lisbon, I didn't want to be there any longer than 4 nights. Take my monkey ass home after 4 nights, so I can get ready for the next one. Hilton, 5th night free, and for me, that's a long trip. That's a real vacation. That's not just a weekend trip. That's a vacation, 5 nights. So that's what we're doing in Mexico. And like JC says, Hyatt, you don't get that. TBI. Yeah. Hyatt needs to do something about those one, and that's the other thing. I am super critical of that Hyatt credit card. Well, it pays for itself. You get that free night. There's not very many category 1 to 4 properties that I'm interested in using a free night at. And I have a year to pick it. When I've had those, I get those Hyatt free nights from staying at the different categories of hotel. And when I have one, I almost have to force it. I almost have to use it just because I have it. I agree. They're awful. At least let me what do you call it? Plus it up. It's a 15,000. Let me add 5,000 points to it. I love IHG, and I love IHG even more after this past year. Me and my wife both purchase the maximum amount of IHG points every year when they go on 100% sale. I don't really earn any besides that because I don't use the card from spend. But man, we've just had a really good experiences with IHG. Down from the Holiday Inn Expresses for when that's what you need, all the way up to the Kimptons. We have had good experiences at IHGs, and I really do like those Indigos. And there's 2 or 3 other property names that I don't remember, but they're just kind of unique and kind of quirky, and they just have personality. So I'm a big fan of IHG. I just renewed my business Premier card. I don't want to let that one go. Free night at the Conrad Tokyo. Nice move, man. Very nice move. I've booked that 3 or 4 times and never been there. I've always canceled. Marriott capping free night certs top ups 15,000. I agree. They need to do, since they raised the prices, they need to let us top it up with 25,000. Oh, talk about the worst flight. Golly. Okay, so let me talk about this United flight. Let me try to do this justice. Now, this is not a knock on United. Things happen. We've had really good experiences on United lately. So we go to Houston for 1 day. It was for my birthday. We go to a baseball game and come back the next day. So it's one of those things like you're only in Houston for 24 hours. It's a real short thing. And that's the kind of stuff we like to do. So the day we get up a little early. Everybody gets up fine. We only been there 20 hours, so it's not much to pack up. We go downstairs at the Cambria, downtown historic district of Houston. It's beautiful. Food was amazing. Go get breakfast. Get to the airport early. Get a little bit of lounge time, which different story. Those priority pass lounges are packed and stupid there. But we go to the board United. And here's the thing about United that other carriers don't do is when they're doing pre-boarding, some places with United will let military veterans board first, not just active duty, but veterans. So I'm not gonna lie, I take advantage of stuff like that because I earned it. I'll go sit first. So get on the plane early. Everything's nice and chill. There's a little bit of a delay, and then he says there's lightning. So we sit on the plane for 2.5 hours. Guys, I get it. There's lightning. I'm not saying anybody can do anything about the weather, and I would never complain about the weather. Erica Goldberg just hit us with a 5-piece. Happy 4th of July. I'm a member of Marriott and have their card. I'd like to join a second hotel brand and get their card. We just talked about how much we love IHG and their cards. They have a really good special offer right now. The IHG Premier card, 300,000 points. I think it's 5 free nights. Love that card. It's a Chase card. Love it. I would highly recommend it. But 2.5 hour delay from lightning. It happens. Everything that happened afterwards was complete, just awful. No leadership, no training, no decision making. Everything else was complete bush league. It was terrible. Incompetency. So the guy says, hey, we've had you on the tarmac as long as we can. You have to disembark. All right, shoot. Get disembarked, 737. So what's that, 200 people? 737, we're in the back. I'm in 34C. So, yes, I was in the back because I was traveling with Carlos, and I don't like to let him sit in the front on any kind of domestic flights. So 34C. So we get off there. The gate agent says, hey, don't go anywhere because we're probably just going to get right back on and take off. Okay, cool. And as we're in this whole time, flights are taking off. I get it. It's lightning. I get it. We can't take off, but everybody else can. So can't leave, can't go back to the lounge, can't really go get anything. You get something to drink or whatever, but we're getting ready to get back on. So I don't know how much time passes, but we reboard. And I'm pretty sure some idiot tampered with the smoke alarm in the bathroom so he could vape. So the fire alarm goes off in the bathroom while we're on board. And I get you can't do anything about that either. You have to do what protocol dictates. And the flight attendant says, hey, everybody, leave your stuff here, disembark. So we've gotten on and off twice. So again, they say, don't go anywhere. Once we get this alarm off, we're out of here. Okay, cool. So time goes by, and she says, the gate agent says, hey, everybody go back on the plane and grab your stuff and come back here. And you're probably thinking, oh, okay, whatever. Can you imagine 200 people getting on a plane, grabbing their stuff, and leaving the plane at the same time? It was like that. I said, wait a minute, that doesn't sound, well, if it's going to be bad, I'm going to be the first one. So I go on and get all my family stuff off. And I turn around, and there's 100 people in the aisle. So, how long do you think this took? It took forever. Just the most ridiculous. At this point, people are crying. People are starting to get goofy. It doesn't take long for human beings to get frustrated. And it is. I get it. And one guy says, this is an effing circus. And he's not wrong. It was. And a gate agent kind of just bolts down the jet bridge and to go chase this guy down and say, hey, you mind your language. And I'm thinking, why don't you use some of that energy and that power and that authority to get this thing moving and get us back in, where we're supposed to be, and instead of everybody just standing around, flight attendants just standing there. Go get your stuff. They're not, and I get they're there for safety, but they're also the brains of the operation, right? So get all our stuff, get back in there, and get at the terminal. And I think about this time, it was the time where we were already supposed to be back in Columbus. So I think 4 or 5 hours went by or something. And they're like, well, everything looks good now, guys. But and then everybody started getting notifications on their phone about a gate change. Not only a gate change, but a terminal change. So you had to go to the other side of the airport and go sit at the gate from a new plane. So we get there, and I'll finish this up. We get there, and there's another delay, and then we finally get on board, and we get to Columbus. And I think I was supposed to get home at 4 p.m. I think I got in Columbus after 11 p.m. So I get delays happen, and we were just talking about how it hasn't happened to us in a while. But the way United handled it, I don't think it's a reflection on United as a whole. I just think they had a lot of retarded people working at that airport at that gate. And people that had no idea what they were doing, people that didn't care. They were completely apathetic. So that was my flight from hell. I spent almost as much time in the airport as I actually did in Houston. But here's a weird thing. I got to meet Eric Dickerson. You guys that don't know Eric Dickerson played college football in the late 70s, early 80s, and he was a big-time NFL running back. He's the one who has the record for most rushing yards in a season that a guy almost broke last year. Eric Dickerson still holds that record. Super nice. I saw him in the airport, and I normally don't bother those guys. I don't talk to them. I don't, because I kind of feel like, I don't want to. Airports suck. I know he doesn't want to be bothered. So I saw him walking, and I'm like, I know that guy. And I go, that's Eric. I think that's Eric Dickerson. But you can't ever really be sure, right? So I go get Carlos, and I go, hey, Carlos, you want to go meet an NFL Hall of Famer? He's like, yeah. I go, come on, let's go find this guy. So I'm walking around, and I lost him. And I'm like, maybe just. And then I look at him standing right next to me. And I said, I try to be quiet because I didn't want to blow up the spot. I didn't want to, and I might have been wrong. I go, excuse me, sir. Are you Eric Dickerson? And he goes, yes, I am. And he was super nice. I told Charlie, he asked Carlos what his favorite sport was, asked if he wanted a picture. So that was cool. That was at the beginning of the evolution before all the mayhem started. But Carlos will remember that forever. Thought that was pretty cool. And Houston was awesome. Houston's so cool. Have you been enough of a football historian for Carlos? He does now, because he came home and YouTubed him and made him on Madden, and he's a big fan of Eric Dickerson now. And I thought that was cool. He was nice. He was super nice. And I had, for some reason, I had thought he might have had a reputation of not being super nice. So all the better. Memphis Mike, what got me sold on IHG was the 5 free nights offer. Staying at the Voco. Voco is one of those cool, trendy name brands. Yeah, cool. So I got the IHG. Sorry, Hilton. I don't blame you. I was a former gate lice. I understand. Whoops. The program having an issue isn't important. How the issue is handled. Fair, very fair. You're right. How do you like the Astros game? Holy smokes. Listen, I left on United. IHG to Miami, had to turn back with windshield issue. Oh man, 8 hours. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but when I was a kid, I was. And my favorite team growing up was the Cubs, but my best friend's brother pitched for the Astros. So I wanted to go to a ball game for my birthday, and the Cubs were in Houston. And I was like, let's go check out this stadium. Amazing stadium. I think the guy told us there were 160 different places to eat in the stadium. And we sat on the club level with all the restaurants behind us. Local breweries. When I travel, especially to Texas, I don't know why, but I'm a Dos Equis guy. I'll drink one. I drink one. So I did drink one Dos Equis. And the stadium, Houston Stadium, amazing. Very, very cool. Cool people, cool stadium, no problems. Very good atmosphere. Very, very squared away stadium. They do their business really well, and I really do like Texas. Yeah, Mr. Kirk says sounds like United. Yeah, it was. Chase has banned me for any new cards. I got denied before I even hit apply. Wow, that's interesting. I have an interesting thing going on with Amex right now that I don't want to talk about it until it's done. But I applied for and was approved for the Delta Gold card, and hit the welcome bonus, but they have not given me any points. And they say the account is under review. And I told them, I go, when you say account, do you mean the Delta Gold card or my Amex account? Because I'm not out there doing crazy stuff, but enough to where I want to know if it's my whole account. And they said, no, it's just the Delta Gold account. So I'll report back when I figure out more about that. But I'm kind of wondering. I think it might have been because I took the offer where I had to make a Delta purchase, and I booked a Delta hotel for my last night in Italy, and I ended up canceling it because it was just a really weird situation, and we went and got a Hilton room instead. So I'm thinking maybe that I canceled it. Maybe I became ineligible for that welcome bonus. Well, I'm still in the window for the welcome bonus, so I booked a $7 hotel in Saigon, somewhere in Vietnam. I booked a night at a hostel for $7 through Delta, so I'm hoping that pushes it through. But I'm not staying there. Oh man, yeah, Erica, everybody has their own horror stories, and it sucks. I mean, I know it happens, but yeah, like terminal change, and it was just the way United handled it. Like it was not a squared away outfit. Like I said, lightning happens. I totally get it, but what the one guy said, how you handle it is really important. Houston has a lot of United delays. Yeah, I thought it was a really cool airport, though. That was a nice airport. William Perry's my football hero. Big man. Big man. Good thing you didn't ask Dickerson to take a picture of you. He fumbled it. Oh, come on. Was he a fumbler? I mean, he's a little bit before my time. I didn't know he was a fumbler. See, I remember Eric Dickerson when he was traded to the Colts. I remember watching him on TV as a youngster with the Colts, and he was still kicking butt. Is IHG good for Europe? Yes. We stayed at an IHG property in Lisbon, and it was one of those, like I said, it was one of those fancy schmancy names. I don't even remember what it was, but it was called the Convent. It was the Convent. It was one of those boutique style IHG brands. We loved it. We stayed 4 nights. We really liked it. Really great. I like IHG a lot. Yeah, Ian, you said that before, man. You're a mover. I like 4 nights as a base camp. And here's my thing. Like if I'm traveling solo, let's say when I go to Madrid, I'm doing 5 nights. If I end up staying somewhere else, I don't mind. Like let's say I do an excursion that's maybe an excursion to Seville or Toledo, and I end up staying the night or so. I don't have anything like that planned, but if something like that happened, I still keep my base camp back in Madrid. So I like to keep one base camp with all my stuff and kind of move out from there. I don't like moving hotels that much. Not that big of a deal if I'm by myself, though. Sean says, in your opinion, how many new cards is too many to open per year? There's no question for that. It comes down to how much you can spend, and if you're overspending for that, no good. If your capacity to manage that many cards is overwhelmed, that's no good. I think it's depending on the person. If you're deep in this game and you're really nerdy and you have a spreadsheet full of all the stuff you need to track and you're still hitting one a month for a year, good. Get it while you can, because this is a good point here. You guys have seen this credit card change dramatically in the last couple months, in the last 6 months. If it keeps changing, this might be the golden age of credit cards. What's in the future might not be as good as this. So get as much as you can. I don't have that. It's dependent on what your financial goals are, or if you have a home purchase coming up, that's different. I personally have not had any problem getting refinancing or mortgages with a bunch of inquiries. But if you're sensitive to that, don't apply for any cards for 6 months. If you're not going to apply for a mortgage or an auto loan or any kind of line of credit, nuts, man. Keep applying. I don't have a problem with guys getting. Now, eventually, it's going to come to a head. I mean, eventually, you don't want 20 brand new accounts, But as long as that doesn't affect you, keep going. Get them while you can. Happy 4th of July from Japan. Nice, Carlos. All the credit card enthusiasts. Nice, man. Have fun in Japan. He was a fumbler, but obviously he was all-time great. So I'm joking. Yeah, okay. I didn't know, but I'm glad he didn't fumble my phone. Why would I ask Eric Dickerson to take a picture of me? That would be funny, though. Hey, you mind taking a picture of me and Carlos? Sydney and Auckland on edit. Wow, dude. Carlos is killing it. I'm going to Hokkaido. I'm not very good with a lot of different foreign names. Using Sapporo as a base for 5 nights. I hate having to unpack and repack. Yeah, but after that, I'll be in shorter stays. And I don't know, Tohoku. Yeah, that sounds exciting, man. That sounds awesome. Erica's out here killing it. Let me see here, guys. What other? I think we've pretty much gotten through everything. So yeah, we back to the redemption. I think I explained why I changed it up, and I think it's for the better. And bouncing it off you guys, I think you guys understand. I think it does make a lot of sense to change that to somewhere fun and closer and a lot more maybe appropriate for the crowd I'm taking. Okay, so what time is it? 8:15. We are going to do a quick one tonight, guys. So I'll go about 10 minutes longer. If you guys have fireworks, I want you to be able to get to where you need to go and watch them and all that good stuff. And if you have to work tomorrow, go to sleep early. Fortunately, I'm off work tomorrow, but I don't want to keep everybody here. So if you have questions, I'll answer them. If you have any ideas for videos, I'll definitely do them. I do want to do a video on the how the Chase CSR might affect hotel bookings for some people in the future, and I think that's it is a factor for a lot of people. If I can get 2x Chase points on hotels, I don't know if I need any hotel loyalty at all. Now, hotel loyalty is one thing. Hotel credit cards, due to the fact that they are so powerful and so valuable, I don't know if I could ever do without them. But in a world where a lot of us are questioning our annual fee tolerance, some of those hotel cards are going to be going away from me. So that's something that we'll probably have to whittle down slowly, or Eric is off tomorrow. Yeah, I'm glad. It's been a busy week, super busy week, and I'm behind on all the YouTube stuff. I'm glad to get a live in tonight to get with everybody and to talk shop, but I'm just behind on everything. So don't have any travel planned until next month. So hopefully I can get caught up with everything. And I appreciate you guys with questions for Carlos. He does want to be like all kids. He wants to be a YouTuber. He wants to meet everybody at the meetup. Do I ever plan on going to India? That's a tough one, man, because this is some parts of the world are geographically difficult for me to do. Like a lot of places in Asia, I want to visit so many places in Asia, but it's so far away. I don't have the time to do it right now. I've got a 48-month window before I can retire. So in 48 months, Asia, here I come. Hopefully I'm not too old to get around in 48 months. But India, that's a tough one, man. India, I don't think so. And I'm not somebody who lets countries' reputations really dictate my choices. But India is going to be too rough for me, man. That's going to be too busy, too crowded, too. And that might be a stereotype because I've not been there, but it's just not on my list right now. And I could be convinced, like if I could do some more research and see what's up, I might change my mind. But right now, I don't even have it as an option. There you go. Get busy, go on a trip, and chill out. Billy, it's flying economy to Doha from Atlanta for 70K Avios in October. A great deal. No. I'll go you one step further. That's a horrible deal. You can fly, unless I'm missing something, you can fly Q suites on Qatar Airlines for 70,000 Avios in business class in Q suites. And man, that is a long Atlanta to Doha. That's a long ride, man. That's tough. I say no, that's not. Now, here's the thing: if economy class doesn't bother you, it's still not a good deal. And it's definitely not a great deal. It's not even the same world as a great deal. So no, I'm not trying to be confrontational or mean or anything, but no, that's a terrible deal. Would not do that. Seabass, I think this new points boost system might be the first nail in the coffin for Chase Hyatt relationship. You could be right, man. Chase is really changing, and I don't think anybody is optimistic about that right now. Create a channel for Carlos to review toys or video games. Yeah, I think we're headed that way. He does have a channel, but he doesn't have the equipment to kind of bring it all together, and I don't really have time to do all that for him yet. So eventually I think it'll come to that. I live in China. Come through. I would love to. I'd love to go to China. Love it. There's some things about China that worry me a little bit too. You know, the payment methods and some of the different types of security some Americans face over there. So, but I would really love to visit China. Absolutely. United's awful. Rex hit us with a 2 spot. Thank you, sir. You can only have one credit card. Which one? That's easy, man. Give me, well, I've answered this a million times. It's always been the Venture X. I don't really see any reason to change that now. But if, yeah, it's Venture X. I'm going to earn double points. I'm going to use the heck out of that portal. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to get into them Capital One lounges. Yeah, it's a Venture X. Mr. Ragland just called Capital One before I bought tickets with Ticketmaster. The lady told me I would get 1X on my saver, so I used my Venture X. Can anyone clarify? I don't know. Why wouldn't the saver be 3X? That's your question. Why would because they get 3X with entertainment? Bought tickets with Ticketmaster. Here's what I say. I'm going out on a limb, but I'm saying she's wrong. I've used Saver at Ticketmaster a lot, and I've gotten 3X. I think she's just wrong. Random question. Do you think Amex Delta Gold is worth it if I work for Delta? I don't know the benefits you have from working with Delta, but for everyone else, the Delta Amex Gold is worth it for anyone who flies Delta. Yeah, I think it's a good card. Am I going to keep it long term? No, I don't think so. I don't fly Delta enough, but I think it's a good card. I think the way it's set up is really good. Erica says the Q suites are where that's at. Best. Yeah, I flew. That was my first business class flight ever. Was Chicago to Dubai in Q suites. Unreal. You're welcome, sir. I'm out. See you later, fun. Even though you're in the Navy. No problem, man. I'm guessing you were a Marine. If you were a Marine, at least I was on a ship with a bunch of Marines. In 48 months when you retire, is there a place in the world you can see yourself living for a summer? No. Do I want to? Yeah. Heck yeah. I have too many responsibilities here. Yeah. What I like to do, I live a summer in Vietnam, a summer in Czech Republic. Hey, listen, where would I not want to spend a summer? But I'm a full-time dad, and I'm not going to leave that job for anybody else for a summer. So great question, though. But yeah, I would love to spend a summer anywhere, man, anywhere. Matt Darling's catching in. I'm looking at doing Turkish Airlines 6 continents. Oh boy, let's talk about that next live. That's a tough one, but I'd love to hear about it. Yeah, Erica's the El Safwa Lounge. She's talking about the first class lounge because if you go from North America to Dubai on Q Suites, you connect in Doha, and even though that's business class to Doha, it's first class from Doha to Dubai. So you get access to the Al Swafa Lounge, which is over the top amazing. It's probably not even first class. It's like S class. Yeah, good idea, Francis. James, check your Venture X and see how it codes. If it's entertainment, you might have just lost a point per dollar, but I don't know. I would just keep that in mind. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here. Oh, let me see. Yeah, if I was you, I'd be moving all my points out of American Express. If they have one card under review, they're going to check all of them. Self shutdown is always bad. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. I've moved all of them out. The problem with that is my MR points are for my mega redemption, which I can't schedule until next month. So I definitely have thought about either cashing those out or moving them to a program where I think I can get value from. So we'll see. At worst comes to worst, I can pay for Cancun with cash. So I'm ready for anything there. MP Bassett says, I don't have the CSR, but I'm interested in the 2x bonus using the edit portal. Someone should do a video comparing transferring points versus using the edit. That'll be a good. There'll probably be a lot of those coming up as people start using it. My CSR doesn't get well, I guess it does get the points boost. I think you're going to see a lot of that pretty soon. Frequent Miler just talked about it. They did a little mini study. But guys, thank you for showing up tonight. We got 129 people. It's a great live. I will be live again next Thursday. And if anybody donated or sent super chats or super stickers, I super appreciate it. New video out either Sunday or Monday. And you members, there will be a members video this weekend. So I will catch you guys later. Like I said, thanks for stopping by and super appreciate every single one of you.